I know everybody who was standing right there when Takeoff got sent up, they scared because their name is brought up in the Rico indictment, man. When they bring them to court, man, they gonna have to testify against everybody who they claim to be gangster. They gonna have to really testify against them, and that's gonna hurt them. I want y'all to really look at one thing. It's a lot of people sitting back looking at J. Prince Sr. as if, okay, J. Prince Sr. wasn't there, but it was his birthday though. I want y'all to really look at that, and y'all got to really write down the fact that Lil Cam, as soon as he left, he FaceTimed J. Prince Jr. Once he FaceTimed J. Prince Jr., told him like, yeah, man, we just got pulled over. They right behind us right now. J. Prince Jr. told him, you straight. We got you. Even if you get locked up, man, we got you. Because Lil Cam couldn't stash the move quick enough. When I say move, I mean the blicky. I want y'all to really look at what's going on, man, because a lot of people sit back and they say that Quavo, he was the one that tried to keep everything in line. Quavo couldn't keep everything in line because he wasn't the one that started it. Offset sat back and said, Takeoff is the main one you need to be real live sending your condolences to, man, before you do anything, man. Hit the like button. Hey, I want y'all to really look at what's going on, man, because in all actual reality, we can all sit back and say, like, they didn't have sympathy for that man. They didn't take to full initiative that J. Prince Jr. was the feds before they went out there. You think that ain't nobody know that J. Prince Jr. got booked and then got right out? Real talk, before Takeoff even went out there. That didn't happen afterwards. It happened before. And from what the eyewitness is saying, it's a lot that people fail to realize. Quavo know that the game ain't gonna never end. Takeoff, he got sent up for what? He got sent up because he went out trying to check in, and Quavo already been checked in. Y'all gotta really look at this, man, because they saying Shakur Stevenson, he was the one that was there. They brought him up on camera, y'all. So I want everybody to pay attention to all the key facts in this. First off, Lil Cam had the blicky on him. Second, Mike Prince was standing right there in the middle of all of it, and he could have avoided everything that happened from going on. They said that Migo Bands was the main one who instantly, he spotted the shooter before anybody. That's why he upped his blick. When they was arguing, Migo Bands already had to move out. They had different angles of the camera footage, which goes to show that people real life was flipped on this side, flipped on that side. Next thing you know, Mike Prince, he instantly sitting right here on this side. Hey, I want y'all to really pay attention to this. J. Prince Jr. been working with them people since he got out when he's supposed to did over 6 years. Like, y'all got to really understand that, man. That man got out on probation. Then next thing you know, he signed Finesse 2 Times. That's why they say Finesse 2 Times got wrapped up in this whole situation for one reason. Takeoff knew Finesse 2 Times before he got locked up. Y'all got to really look at this, man. Sad to say, J. Prince Jr. just should have had his security on point. Ain't no way that they was the only ones with the blickies, but everybody else didn't have one on them. Everybody clearly saw in the video they had to move on them. They said that Mike Prince was walking towards Takeoff when all this was going on, while everybody was looking at that camera, looking at dude recording. J. Prince Jr. already know. When it comes down to that Rico indictment, it's a lot of people who gonna tuck their tail and who ain't gonna really be the big head honcho then once the Rico indictment come out. From what they saying is, little Cam, he only had to move on them. He came there with it. He got locked up because he was on house arrest, and he got caught leaving the bowling alley with the blicky. I want y'all to look at one thing, man. If y'all pay attention to RP Takeoff, man, before anything, Quavo, you should have spoke up at the beginning. Takeoff knew for a fact that it was some fishy going on. He knew that it was some real suspicious going on. And when you really pay attention to it, everybody's sitting back looking like, why did Charleston White just come out and say what really happened? Charleston White, he explained the whole situation. How did he know what went on there if he wasn't there? And the situation is so many different. And I can agree, you have to stay on point. you have to really be cautious when you traveling and doing all these things, man, because the people around you, they don't know if you got the toolie on you. They don't know if your people on their way. They don't know if your people, like, real life meeting up with you. Like, I want y'all to really pay attention to this. And if y'all from the streets, y'all will be able to understand and realize the fact that Takeoff, it was something that was tragically done. But at the end of the day, we know for a fact that people sent their condolences, but in all actual reality, the people that's booked for it, man, do they deserve it? I want y'all to tell me, do they deserve what they getting? It really brings awareness. At this point, it brings clear awareness that Lil Cam instantly came up and ran off. And as y'all can see, J Prince Jr. was looking like he did the little eye contact, the little eye movement. He said, regardless of any circumstance or the situation, regardless if you cool with them or not, he said out his own mouth, don't get comfortable. Like I always told y'all, man, if you from that city, you already know. If you know, you know. If you from the A, you know, you know. If anybody come to your city, they don't know what's going on in your city, man. It was too many females out there, and they now one of them instantly text at least the video of what happened from a different angle. Come on now. They saying that old girl that was standing right there by Bushwick Bill, he was the one that Migo Bands gave the signal to. And I want y'all to really pay attention to this, because you got to watch the crowd you keep, because it's people out here who trying to take your spot, man. People know for a fact that he was having. They know for a fact that he was getting it in on every song, and they tried to, like, real life make it seem like Takeoff brought this upon himself. He didn't. Like, in all actual reality, we know for a fact that the people who came out, they was the main ones who said, like, Quavius, Marshall, which is Quavo, he was the one right there. Like, I want y'all to pay attention to this, man, because Takeoff was too close by him for that had to even happen. Like, at the end of the day, we know this, man. If you open your eyes, you'll be able to realize what's really going on. They already started blowing before they even threw any punches. And the Chucky Doll Bushwick Bill dude, he was there. He can tell y'all that, man. I want y'all to really pay attention to this, man, because they tweaking. Like, at the end of the day, we know for a fact that it was 3 people blowing. And Migo Band sat there. He didn't even really get to really start hitting. You feel me? He didn't really get to really start blowing, for the simple fact that they already done hit one, boom. Next thing you know, they cut out the scene, man. And I want y'all to really pay attention to that, man, because it's crazy, because Mike Prince was the main one right there. But this is the thing that they asking in Atlanta. If Buddy was right there holding the camera, why was he shaking the camera when they was blowing? You feel me? With the blickies. Why was he even holding the camera, man? Like, and this is what they asking in Atlanta. And I want y'all to know one thing. They hurt by this, man. RP Takeoff, man, at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Buddy was sitting right there with the camera, but the camera was all shaky. Come on, man. You could have kept that camera still so we could have saw who instantly ran up. If these people would have showed some empathy or even some type of consideration for Takeoff even being in their presence, and knowing that Takeoff is a multi-million-dollar rapper. Like, y'all gotta understand, rapper lots, like, everybody mess with them, but at the end of the day, MobTies, y'all sit there and saw J Prince Jr. It's over with now. They took him in for questioning. I want y'all to look at one thing. This is why I always sit back and say, you have to be cautious of the things you do, because when you got a whole bunch of, if you got anybody over 15 people working for you, it's going to be some problems, because it's going to be a hothead in the group. Everybody know for a fact that J Prince Jr., he messed up now. Now, by J Prince Jr. going in, what you think the Fed's going to think?
I mean, you know, he's continuing to stay around things that happen. And whenever he's around, something happens. You know what I mean? And it's like, at some point, he's going to get caught up, because things are gonna cross. People are gonna connect this to that, and they're gonna figure it out when they look at all the facts.
Yeah, and when you pay attention to it, from what the video showed, it showed Jay Prince Jr., they was at an event. Next thing you know, people start running from the side. People start running from the left side. Y'all got to understand, it's like it was strategically planned. Like they set that up. This why I always tell y'all got to be cautious of the things you do, because if you in a certain place in particular, you know for a fact that it could be somebody on the side who already know you finna throw this event, who already ready. They already got their plan in motion.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. People premeditate and plan things out and, have an idea. The thing is when you're in a different place, like that's not your normal setting, you can be caught off guard because you don't know who's connected and who works together with who. And like at the end of the day, you're in a whole place relying on just who you got around, and that's it. And if you ain't got no one watching back, then that's all.
Yeah, it's like you left for the wolves. Like they said, Takeoff was there. Chucky Dodd, Bushwick Bill, he ran right up. They was blowing, and he literally ducked before they even started blowing. Right. So this goes to show he knew Lil Cam was gonna come from the side and run up on Takeoff. And Migo Bands, man, y'all saw what just happened to Migo Bands, man. This goes to show, like, you can't be working with the opposition, man. At the end of the day, Takeoff was in a whole nother state, and they real life could have avoided it because one thing, number one, the eyewitness said that Quavo was the one who started the argument by the way that he responded to Migo Bands and Lil Cam then when they was talking about the, you feel me?
Right. And the worst part is from what I hear, Takeoff was ready to leave before. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's, when you send something, he just, whatever, he was ready to go before, and he stayed there and then got sent out.
And that's why people sit back and be like, you know what? Why would Boosie even get himself involved in it? Boosie sat back and he waited for a long time. He didn't want to speak on this incident. That's why he just said RP Takeoff, because you know for a fact Boosie already got something else going on with the Duke the Jeweler situation. And I know a lot of people say, did Duke the Jeweler get set up? Y'all tell me, because we don't know at this point, because a lot of people saying like it was somebody in Boosie crew that did that to Duke the Jeweler. And again, I'm not trying to make nobody believe nothing. It's literally, you have to pick out the facts. And when you look at the facts of it, you know for a fact Jay Prince Jr. was there and Lil Cam was there when Duke the Jeweler was there, and Lil Cam was there in one other situation when Takeoff got sent up at the bowling alley. A lot of people sit back. If y'all new, subscribe to the channel. Like at the end of the day, we know for a fact that a lot of people sit back and don't take full initiative to what's going on. You know for a fact that they into it with them. Why would you go somewhere?
Right. And you're in the whole new setting. Not a new setting, but they were there for a few weeks. Obviously, people checking in. Everyone knows where everyone is. And you connect everything. It's like, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, that's why I sit back and I be like, you know what? These people looking at this from a whole different perspective. You have to put into consideration what happened. First off, Jay Prince Jr., they said that he owned the bowling alley. That's neither here nor there. Like at the end of the day, we know for a fact that the people who played a role in it know that Migo Bands was there. They know Migo Bands had the blickies up. And everybody sent back looking like, what happened to Migo Bands? You got to do your research, man, because you really got to find out, man, that it was a setup.
I mean, there was so many things going on, and I think it was just a matter of time, but it's like, it's crazy how everything, when you put it together strategically, it just falls in place. It's crazy.
And from what the DA said that everybody who played a role in that, they will be, like, literally under the docket to where they get really, like, they gonna do some time for the whole MobTies 5th Ward Rico indictment.
Yeah, they've been watching it for a minute.
Yeah, and I want y'all to pay attention. That Rico indictment, they ain't playing in there.
No, I mean, that's the thing. It's like when they start putting everything together and you see, like, the common trend and patterns, it's gonna repeat itself. So it's a matter of time till something else happens. But we're gonna see them put all the facts together.
Charleston White said that Lil Cam, he not the fall guy. Charleston White said that the fall guy is Migo Bands because Migo Bands was the one blowing. And that's who they coming out there looking for. And I want y'all to really look at the fact that nobody from Atlanta finna just ride to Houston for no reason. They riding out there for one reason, and one reason to be exact is because the people who was at that bowling alley knew what happened and knew for a fact they could have real life avoided the whole situation, but they didn't. So this goes to show that everybody who wanna sit out there and stick their neck out there and be this and be that, man, you gotta be ready for what come behind this, man. At the end of the day, we know for a fact everybody in MobTies, they send back looking like, who next? Like, y'all gotta really look at this, man. And there was a lot of people who sat back and like literally played their part in this. It's crazy how we do this to each other, but again, I can't speak for the next man. All I can do is sit there and let people know that Takeoff, if he would have never been at that bowling alley, he would have never got sent up. This would have never happened. We know for a fact that everybody sit there and say, okay, a lot of people is involved in this, but we know for a fact that it's people who's not involved in this. And the people who's not involved in this is the people who sat there and should have came with him, man, and protected him, man. Like, at the end of the day, man, don't let that go over your head. Like, sit there and pay attention to what's going on, man. He should have had bodyguards with him. It was no way you let some street guys, like real life, have your back. How could you trust somebody and you just saw what happened to Duke the Jeweler? Duke the Jeweler, people sat there and said, like, man, here go another one. Shorty, and what I mean by shorty is old girl. If you from the hood, you know what I'm talking about. Shorty said that Buddy with the V-Long hoodie, he was standing right there even after they started blowing. So who was Migo Bands blowing at if everybody know that Cam ran inside of the movie? I mean, not the movie, but you know what I'm saying. And when Cam ran inside of the bowling alley, hey, I want to let y'all know one thing. Dude was still right there, man, with the Chucky doll who they said instantly grabbed Takeoff, like they instantly, he grabbed Takeoff shirt, Takeoff instantly turned around and dude instantly kept blowing. They said look Cam yellow hoodie, he ran inside of the bowling alley for one reason, and I'm gonna be discreet and I'm going to like literally take my time with this. He ran inside the bowling alley after he sent Takeoff up because he had to get rid of the blicky. You gotta understand what's really going on, and this is coming from the family, and like the family, they're grieving right now, man. I want y'all to really look at the fact that this is a revolving door. We can really look at this and be like, this is another act of senseless violence, and people sit back and still don't understand that. Why would y'all even run up on him? Like, what was y'all purpose? Y'all try to take his chain? Was y'all trying to basically prove a point so that y'all could get some cool points from this? Like, at the end of the day, we know for a fact that the feds said that they on a bumper, so y'all, but J Prince, you better hide out, man. At the end of the day, we know for a fact that everybody that played a role in this, they sat there and said J Prince Jr. set it up. And this is coming straight from Houston. Like, I want y'all to look at one thing. He can't even come to Atlanta. He cannot come to Atlanta. And Yellow Cam, hey, I'm going to call him Yellow Cam. At the end of the day, hey, he ran in there to have the blicky. Then he ran out without the blicky because he already passed it off to one of the guys. I want y'all to look at that, man, and take heed to that, because this is something that could literally, it could have easily been avoided if he would have never even ran in there, because they singled him out once they turned the camera around. They didn't know that nobody was watching on the camera. That's why I say always watch your surroundings and watch who you keep around you, man, because at the end of the day, we know for a fact that we need to understand that this is a revolving door. The prosecutors is saying it doesn't matter if Lil Cam Real Life had to move in his hand on camera while he was in initiation to Real Life send Takeoff up. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was the fact of he had to move on them. And when I say move, I mean he had the blicky on them. Hey, I want y'all to really look at this, man, because a lot of people not paying attention to the main key points in this. And a lot of people sit back and they look at this like, look, Cam, he did it. Okay, look, Cam did it, but Jay Prince, the fizz. At the end of the day, Jay Prince Jr., he was the main one who supposed to did 3 years and end up getting out. How do you do that? Where they do that at? What is this? At the end of the day, man, we all know for a fact that people sit back and say like, look, Cam cousin was the main one. Now, it was so many people that was standing back in them cuts, like dude with the baseball hoodie on. Like, that was dude that was Real Life with the dude with the dreads. Yeah.